We are witnessing unprecedented police brutality.
Nakwambia kwamba hii government ya William Ruto hakuna mtu anaitrust saa hii. Even Raila Odinga ameanza kuonyesha njia za kuexit. Because William Ruto hawezi kuwa anaongea hivi, Murkomen anaongea hivi, member of parliament anaongea hivi. Unaona watu wangu? So hii ni very dangerous government. And that's why unaona William Ruto ameanza kuwa na wasiwasi. It's clear that asha realize even Raila Odinga anaenda kumwachanisha kwa mataa. Even nani anaenda kumwachanisha kwa mataa. So the only thing William Ruto anaenda kufanya ni kumake sure anaiba kura. Na kiiba kura atatumia hawa wana polisi vibaya zaidi. Kumake sure hakuna mtu atapinga nini? Hakuna mtu atapinga kuapisha kwake ama kupita kwake 2027. Unaona watu wangu? So hiyo ndio games za William Samoei Arap Ruto. And ukiangalia statement za William Ruto, it is clear that William Ruto anaenda kubakia mamlakani kama Yoweri Museveni. Unaona watu wangu? Na I want to listen to this speech of Raila Amolo Odinga kwanza. Na tutakuja kurealize pia sometimes Raila Odinga anafaa awe anatoka nje zaidi kuzungumza na kuaddress wa Kenya na kuambia wa Kenya straightforward. Nini inaendelea ndani ya government ya William Samoei Arap Ruto. But ensure umelike video, sikiza mambo na usikize jinsi ambavyo huyu Nelson Koech, member of parliament, amejaribu kudeliver information to Kenyans, warning Kenyans and giving police officers authority to kill. You can just imagine. Sikiza.
Would outlaw protests, confront protesters and kill so many as is the case now. We never expected the state-sponsored genocide that is taking place. My intention, therefore, is to jumpstart a candid discussion about this development, share our fears and perspectives, and listen to yours too. The most important discussion in our country today is the high taxes, rising cost of living, and the ensuing protests. Although the tax protests had been initiated by Azimio, it has since gone beyond the party. After the passage of the Finance Act, Kenyans have defied party, political and regional divides and united to resist punitive taxation and demand the lowering of the cost of basic commodities. That the tax burden is unbearable is no longer a party issue. It is a Kenyan issue. The response by the state to the protests has given way to something that now looks like even more ominous than the high cost of living that the protests were initially about. We are witnessing unprecedented police brutality. We are also witnessing an unprecedented phenomenon of the state resorting to armed militia to quell protests. You have visited hospitals and morgues, and you have established that police and hired gangs have shot and killed or wounded scores of people at close range. Some have been shot from the back as they fled or in a position of surrender. The shots have been aimed at the vital organs and the delicate parts of the victims like the stomach, the spine, the heart, the chest, and the head. All the victims have been unarmed. Underscore the word unarmed. These protests were about the cost of living and excessive taxation, and they will continue as such. But we are now forced to deal with the question of policing in a supposedly democratic state like Kenya. Police being deployed to break the protests have failed to act in accordance with the constitution and the law. First, there is no legal backing for police breaking up protests. The protests are protected by Section 37 of the Constitution. We are left wondering whether the Constitution has been suspended or the Constitution itself is a lie. Even if we were to assume that police have a right to break up protests, which they don't have, there is no justification whatsoever for the use of live bullets against unarmed civilians. If the aim is to break up protests, then what is the justification for police to pull people out of their homes and shoot or clobber and kill them, as is happening in parts of the country, particularly in Kisumu and the slums of Nairobi? When police follow you into your house and start clobbering or shooting, what are you supposed to do? We expect security forces to carry out their duties and responsibilities with a complete impartiality and without regard to ethnicity, political persuasion, or other partisan considerations. In these protests, the police are partisan. They have ethnic formations, and they are pursuing an ethnic agenda. That is why we believe we are in the formative stages of genocide and political persecution sanctioned by the state, like happened to the Jews in Germany. The deployment of the police officers in parts of the country, including Nairobi, depicts a determination by the state to perpetuate ethnic cleansing. Going back to the Finance Act.
Na mimi nataka niseme na nishukuru Rais William Samoei Ruto. Wakati jana umesema shoot but do not kill. I want to repeat it here. In fact, shoot and kill. You cannot have someone coming after your life and you do not want to shoot and kill. You cannot have someone who is going to terrorize you and your family and you are telling me you cannot shoot and kill. You cannot have someone who is coming after your businesses armed and with weapons and you want to tell me that you cannot use shoot and kill. The Constitution, the Police Act has given the police the powers to use their arms where they have evaluated the risk of their lives is in danger. And I want to say, these people have been terrorizing people. Anyone who wants to go to a protected area like State House is not an ordinary person. That is a criminal. That is an armed person that must be dealt with equal force. And the only force that applies to such people is to shoot and kill. If you think that the government is sending goons and assassins to attack people's property and investments, why do you have a problem when the government then goes after the people they have sent, as you claim? Waja, we will arrest everyone, and I can tell you they are terrorists, and they are going to be charged as either facilitating terrorism or they are terrorists themselves. Yule mama ambaye alichomewa biashara yake ya county supermarket alifanya makosa gani? Upuzi yenu mnatuambia sijui one term ya nani? Nani alikuambia sisi ndio tutakaa one term? Kibaki hakukaa one term, Uhuru hakukaa one term. Sisi umeona wakati imetufikia ndio sisi ni washenzi tukae one term. Tunapiga term mbili fululizo. Kama taifa la Kenya na kama jamii hatuwezi hata siku moja, na wasifikirie sisi ni waoga ati wanatupangia na sisi tumekaa hivi. Kama ni kupanga, wasifikirie hatuwezi kupanga. Ni vile tunapenda amani na wachunge hii amani sana. This country, blood has been shed enough times. And we will want to warn all those who want to orchestrate violence in our nation that we will not allow the temptation to join